Welcome to the Indie Horror Junkie podcast. Tonight, you will be joining Rotting Ricky and Asylum Amy as they play host to some of the true movers and shakers in the indie horror scene. So lock your doors, check under the bed, and get comfortable, because here we go.
And I'm Sylvia Saska, and we're the Saska Sisters, and this is Indie Horror Junkie! Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Indie Horror Junkie!
We're a panic attack!
Indie Horror Junkie!
Woo! Indie Horror Junkies!
Indie Horror Junkie! Indie Horror Junkie!
Hello, junkies and new junkies, everybody else. As you can tell, it's just me, Rotting Ricky, today. My partner, Asylum Amy, is off on assignment. It always sounds so much more professional to say an assignment. But she won't be joining us tonight, so it's just going to be me and my guest, of course. But before we bring my guest on, because we have a lot to talk about, a lot to show you, a lot to go over, let me just do a little housekeeping as we normally do, just to kind of get you caught up on all the good stuff happening or what just happened. Okay, as you all know, we've been promoting it for the last couple of weeks. We have joined forces with the Scaricon Con and Film Festival that's coming up in September 5th. I've got a couple little things here to show you about that real quick. We are going to be running the film festival portion of that. So look at that. Indie Horror Junkie invades New York at Scaricon. It's going to be held at the Marriott Syracuse downtown, September 5th through 7th. And you can go to scaricon.com to get all the details. Just to also let you know that as of today, there are 5 days remaining for the early bird. So if you've got a short film or a feature film, get it into us as quickly as possible. Take advantage of this early bird notice, because as of April 1st, prices start going up. It's going to be a very short 4-month basically window to get your films in, because the event is September of this year. So make sure you get them in. And as of Monday, they just started announcing the guests. There's going to be a lot of guests announced between now and showtime, but here are the first 3. Boom! Look at that. Melissa Rose is going to be with us. Dave Sheridan is going to be with us. And just announced this morning, Daniel Roebuck. So those are the first 3. Like I said, there will be more. So those are the first 3 that have been announced that will be guests of the con. And then, of course, we have the Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival that will be held as well. Okay, what else do we have for you? Oh, our short film, The Turning, that we've been talking about. That's the official poster for it. This is one of our screenshots from it. The film is complete. It's going right now. It's been sent out to a few different film festivals, and we'll see and we'll update you as it gets accepted and where you can see it if and when those times become available. Then we have, boom, The Clock. This is our first Indie Horror Junkie feature film. It's now streaming on Tubi, Amazon, Vudu, Plex, Chilling. It's going to be on a few more streaming services as well. Plus also, as of Monday, it is now available to purchase on Blu-ray through Bayview Entertainment and Vipco. And on the Blu-ray, you get, not only do you get, of course, Blu-ray quality with the film, but we have a couple of bonus features that we added. One is audio commentary from myself and also our cinematographer, Salo Zayas. And we have a very special, about 45-minute featurette called Hickory Dickory Doom. That's all about this old-time radio show that I was first inspired to write the story for this film. So you get a chance to hear it in its entirety and understand where my mind was rambling, when we decided to make this movie. And then we also have, as of Friday, you'll be able to go to terrorcards.com. The clock is going to have cards available. They're going to have digital cards available on that site, free to download. And if you collect all of them, the first person I believe it is to collect all of them, you get a free bonus card that gets activated. So definitely check out tarotcards.com as of Friday, and you'll be able to see our cards. And the last little bit here that I want to get ahead before we get to our guest, the latest issue just came out. Issue number 15, which is our 2-year Indieversary issue. That artwork is original artwork done by Lou Russo. It's amazing because he was able to capture pretty much everything that we've had going for us, that we've been a part of for the first 2 years of our existence. We're so excited. I mean, the first 2 years has been unbelievable, and already we're only in March, and we've had so many amazing things happen to this point. So definitely check that out. It's available on indiehorrorjunkie.com. You can order it in the digital version, or you can order it in Inglorious print, and we will mail it right out to you. Our Indie Horror Hottie of the Month in the magazine is Amy Schumacher-Lamorte. You can we got to know her with the whole Screamboat movie that we're going to be that we screened over at our Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest, and is currently making the rounds. And I'll have a little video for you at the end of our show here that I want to show you that we did. As a matter of fact, I may show it to you just before, because it's only about less than a minute long. But also for that, we have our Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest coming up for 2026 at MegaCon as well. That has already been opened up. The early bird process is still going. So definitely head over to filmfreeway.com/Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest and get your film into us so we can show it to you. All right, now let me show you this little video in less than a minute, and then we're going to bring on our guest. Okay, this is a video they shot over at MegaCon. This was the Screamboat people that put this together. It's really amazing. Gives you a little idea about how things went down at MegaCon and a little bit about the movie Screamboat. So check this out.
So freaking awesome.
We are here at MegaCon Orlando for the early fan screening of Screamboat. The building is full and everyone's hyped. Who's ready to see Screamboat at MegaCon Orlando?
Thank you all so much for being here. Please enjoy Screamboat.
Screamboat is hilarious.
Iconic.
Phenomenal.
Magical.
Intense.
Maybe the bloodiest scene I've ever seen.
The Disney references were fantastic.
You're gonna laugh, you're gonna be grossed out. Don't miss out on this.
I was locked in the whole time.
I want to go see it again right now.
That was amazing. Be sure to check out Screamboat in theaters on April the 2nd.
Don't be a go see it.
How cool was that? That's a great little video, but the MegaCon event was off the chain. It was unbelievable. We had a line down the hall, in the theater, down the hall, around the corner. It was so amazing, the turnout that we had, the support that we had from everybody there. Everybody had a great time, and we expect to have 2026 be even bigger. Now, without further ado, I want to talk about my upcoming guest here, Joe Davison. I've known this guy, oh my God, I don't even remember how many years. It's been unbelievable. He was actually a part of my very first movie. I won't tell you the story about it that I tell everybody else, because I'll wait for him to get on screen here so we can chat about it. But it was some funny stuff. But he's here basically to not only promote everything that he's done to this point, but also his upcoming new movie, Sorority of the Damned. Now, this is going to be something else. It's been in the process of being made for the past couple of years, and it's going to be well worth it with the effects that I'm hearing that are going to be in this, with the star lineup that he's got, and also, like I said, just Joe Davison himself. He's crazy. He's hilarious. He's a great actor. He was in Stranger Things too. We'll talk about that as well. But he gave us a nice little bonus clip that we're going to show you here real quick. And after the little clip, we'll bring Joe on and we'll get to business. So here's a little clip from Sorority of the Damned. Oh, I love technology. Here it comes.
My sisters, what elementary looks. I was.
I'm dreaming. dreaming.
Yes, you are. All right, here we go. Let's bring on Joe. Bang! Hey! I'm a one-man guy, a one-man group today, so you know.
Oh, hey! So I was just reading my own book in front of my own poster.
Just a little light reading there.
I was like, "Hey!" Just kidding. I was like, "That'd be stupid, hysterical."
Is that really your book that you wrote, or?
Yeah, man. I've written 10 novels.
Oh, that's right. You gave me one over there, but I didn't know you wrote like. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was that available over there at the Comic-Con that I missed?
Yeah, I had only a few. I'm almost out of these. I got to order more. You probably saw. I have another one. I don't have it out. Death's Campaign. I don't have that on me.
That's
think
okay.
I sold out of those.
I've got it. You autographed it for me, and
yeah. Oh yeah, I got yours too.
Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah, signed.
Signed. Hold on to that.
Yeah, which, by the way, what a fantastic job on this magazine and the podcast, and just bringing, horror to this to the community of independent horror guys. It's a difficult road to navigate, man, and it's nice to get help along the way.
That's kind of how it all came about, because as you know, I'm a filmmaker myself, and I remember growing up. I mean, I loved Fangoria magazine. I still do. I talk to Michael Gingold all the time.
I just talked to him today.
Yeah, and I love that. Yeah. I love what they're doing. We're not trying to replace them in any way, shape, or form. They're our inspiration, and we kind of look at ourselves as the minor leagues. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's the same as, like, I'm not trying to replace John Carpenter, but I also want to make crazy movies. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Right.
And I think the more help, the better. So this magazine for sure is I hope, like it is to others, as Fangoria was to me, because I remember when I was in 5th grade, I would go down to the 7-Eleven and grab Fangorias and buy them and come home. My mom found a whole box of them. She freaked out. She thought I was like crazy. And I was like, no, it's horror. Look, it's really cool. She's like, are you out of your mind? Yes, but it's horror. That's relevant. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But Fangoria, because of that, my first issue I had Rawhead Rex on the cover.
Really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. And I hadn't seen the movie. I didn't even know what it was, but I was like, this thing's cool. Now I have a limited edition Blu-ray edition of Rawhead Rex that I showed my kids not too long ago.
Wow.
Yeah. They were like,
to your kids?
Yeah, they were like, what is this? I was like, it's amazing. They're like, this lightning looks horrible. I was like, nah, it's great.
Wow. I can't remember the last time I saw that movie. It's been a long, long time.
Dude, that was my inspiration to become a horror filmmaker, was Rawhead Rex.
I was just going to ask. That was going to be my first question out of the box is, what got you into this? What got you so demented that you felt you had to be a horror filmmaker? Explain to me. How did this happen?
Yeah, Rawhead Rex. And then I saw a movie in 1993 called Evil Dead 2 that I rented from the video store around the corner from my house. And I wasn't 18 yet, but he used to let us rent horror films because my dad was in there all the time. Getting dirty. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Maybe he was, but he was in there a lot and he knew my dad. So he would let us rent the horror films and on the rent the horror films. And on the weekends, my brother and I would go get, I don't know, 8 movies on a Friday and watch them all weekend, and that love of that. And I saw Evil Dead 2 and I didn't know what that was. I was like, why is there a part 2? Where's a 1? Like, what's the 1? So I was like, I got the 2, and the guy was like, you don't need to see 1 if you're watching 2. It's the same movie. And I was like, what? And he's like, but better. And I was like, okay. So I took it home and I watched Evil Dead 2, and I was like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. And then not too long after that, someone had me jump into a fucking canal full of bull sharks for Tom Savini.
Full of bull sharks, huh? The story grows as we talk about it. The story Joe's talking about is my very first film called The Web of Darkness that we had Tom Savini in. Very first time I've ever done anything really as far as film goes. We learned so much that couple of weeks we shot that, but one of the scenes we shot was out on this dock for this like canal, and we had a female vampire, and we needed somebody to come running up to try and like stake her, and she would toss him over the railing into the water. And we just made the whole thing up right then, and we said, hey, we need somebody to do this stunt. And Joe's like, hey, I'll do it. So he came out fully clothed.
I'm a Florida boy. I've been in those.
I know, but
canals.
it's like after she tossed you over the rail and you hit the water, pitch dark at night, we thought about it. It's like, wait a minute, did anybody check the water to see how deep it was or what was going on in there? And nobody thought to do any of this.
No, and then like a week later, a person was attacked in that canal by a bull shark.
By a bull shark in that canal? Really?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I did not know that.
I think Nolan Collins pointed that out to me.
Oh my
God. He's like, yo, a lady just got attacked in that canal you jumped into. I was like, what?
See,
that was fun, man.
That's the importance, everybody, of making sure that everybody signs waivers before you do anything like that.
Because if you get eaten by a shark, someone's going to get sued.
That's right. Unbelievable. I never knew that. I'm going to have to ask about that. Look that up. That's crazy.
Yeah, look it up. Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yep. But is that when we first met?
No, we met before that, man. I think we met.
I know we had to meet before that because that's why we brought you in there. But I mean, I don't remember where we met exactly. I'm sure it was a film festival probably, or a gathering or something like that. Who knows?
I don't know, man. I met you before we had the old Tampa Film Network, which is what I was creating. Me and Chris Woods created this thing called the Tampa Film Network that now is the Florida Film Network. And I'm not any part of it, but I kind of resigned from that. We knew each other before that. I don't know how we met. Maybe at a convention, probably.
It almost had to be something like Andy Lolino's convention or something like that.
Almost. It was just always. We were always there.
Yeah,
you and me, always. You know.
Yeah. But that's the thing is that this Florida area has such a great community, a film community, especially in the horror genre. That's where we met so many people. Like you said, Chris Woods, Andy Lolino, all those guys. I mean, it's just, there's so much going on. Chris Leto,
Sean Donahue. Those are all big, those are all big Florida horror dudes,
And they're still doing it today.
Yeah. And so, that's the goal, man, right? We're all doing it. We've all been doing it since I can remember. I started in 95, Rick. That puts 30 years on me.
Wow. Because Web of Darkness, we shot that in 2001. So that's 6 years. Yeah.
Unearthed, maybe. Maybe that's how we met.
That is how we met. I remember Unearthed, Craig Kovacs in downtown Tampa. I went out there. Yeah. Wow.
No.
Did that movie ever come out?
No, man. Because your film, Web of Darkness, is how I met Savini personally. Because he was there that night. I jumped off the dock.
Right.
And then when I came back, he was like, "What are you, a fucking idiot?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I got him for Unearthed because of Web of Darkness.
Oh, I did not know that. So that was.
But I don't know how you and I met before that. So it wasn't Unearthed.
No, it could have been any number of conventions.
How did that even work? If you did Web of Darkness, when did you do Web of Darkness?
2001.
Well, Unearthed was in 2000.
I don't know how that works. Some kind of
I don't understand that timeline either.
Time portal or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's what's confusing me.
We could have shot Web of Darkness prior to that. It just took till 2001 to get it edited and out there.
Maybe. I don't know. But to answer your question, Unearthed got done. I saw it. I liked it. A lot of people destroyed it because of the effects or something. I thought it was a great independent sci-fi movie. Craig tried to do a lot with a little bit of money and no experience. But honestly, that's one of my favorite films. It was a great independent movie. Too bad I don't think it's anywhere now. I don't think you can even find it like on Amazon. I don't think it ever got distributed. I don't know.
Maybe I should reach out to Craig and see if he's done something with it. If not, maybe I can help him get something done. To me, I just like being able to see something out there. You put a lot of hard work, your time, your effort, your money. You deserve a shot to get it out there in some capacity, at least.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him. I haven't talked to Craig Kovac in probably 15 years. Probably like 2005, maybe. He moved to South Africa.
He moved to South Africa?
Yeah. Well, he was he's right. Time is a flat circle. Because it doesn't make sense. None of it. Sometimes timelines don't add up for some reason. But yeah, his real job is he's a geologist in real life. He works for like big corporations testing rocks and water. I mean, we're talking money, man. Money. That's how he made the movie.
Right.
And then he got a job offer to go to South Africa, and he's been there for 15 years. Last time I talked to him, probably about 15 years ago, it was after Stranger Things because he sent me an email. So 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sent me an email congratulating me on that. And I talked to him for about a couple days back and forth through emails. And then that kind of faded out, and I haven't talked to him since. So
I'll see if I can reach him in some capacity, but I would love to see it just to get out there, just so people can see it. But that, like what you just said there about first time doing the films, like for him, that was the same thing for me with Web of Darkness. I had no experience whatsoever. I wrote a script. My whole plan was to try and sell the script. And then my partner said, hey, why don't we just make it ourselves? So we talked to another company that was making movies at the time. And they said, don't worry about it. We'll handle everything behind the camera. You guys just work with the actors and we'll make your movie. And that was a perfect plan that worked up until I think day one, and then everything went to hell. And we learned basically how to make a movie during that. So the movie, I can't really speak as to how well that movie was done, but I will tell you that it was film school in a bottle. We learned so much.
Well, and the good thing about that too, Rick, is we were out there making movies in the 2000s when it was impossible. I mean, you're shooting on XL1s or Canon. What's outside the XL1? What's next? What's the P29 Sony P?
The XL1 is the ones we used for Web of Darkness.
Oh, for 100 Tears. Maybe it was 100 Tears. Did we meet at 100 Tears? That was after Unearthed. I don't know, man. But 100 Tears we shot on a Sony something or rather. I don't remember what the hell that was. But, we were out there doing it, and it was impossible to do because guys like us didn't have the money to get a full-blown crew, nor did we have the experience. We were just like, blood, titties, yay! Yeah,
But it was fun. And
that was me like half an hour before I got on the show. I was like,
so you mentioned it just a little while ago, Stranger Things. Okay,
right,
a lot of people I'm sure are familiar with that show. Tell us a little bit about what your capacity was in that show. How did that come about? What did you do? Give me the lowdown.
Yeah. Okay. So I have agents, and I had an agent, and I was banging out auditions for her, dude. I was this close to getting a show called This Is Us.
Really?
Yeah, it was me and this other dude. The guy who got it was also on Stranger Things season 1. Wow. He's the dude in the van when the van flips over, flies through the air. He's in the van. But he got it, and it was down to him and I. So anyway, so I'm banging out these pretty solid auditions. And this is exactly how I tell the story. So I watched Stranger Things in a day. The next day, because I see it on Netflix, I'm like, oh, this looks fucking cool. Started up, I'm like, fuck yeah, man, this is my childhood. Oh, we got kidnapped. All right, let's watch. And then I was like, I binged it all in a day. It was only 8 episodes, And I was talking to my wife, Leanna. I was like, this show's fucking dope. The next day, I get a call from my agent. Hey, you watch a show called Stranger Things? I was like, fuck yeah, I just watched it. She's like, you have an audition for it. I said, okay. So the first audition I get is to be the counterpart to the role that I ended up with. But my first audition was for the dude in the Upside Down replacing the battery. Sorry. So he's the Upside Down. That my audition was replacing that battery, whatever those lines were. I did that. About a week later, she calls me and says, okay, you got another audition. It's not callback, it's a new audition. And I said, okay. And she goes, it's for this older gentleman eating chicken at a dinner table. They want you to eat popcorn. I said, yeah, I can fucking eat whatever you want. And so I did the scene, and it was weird and kind of, I didn't really fit the role because I don't look 50. And they wanted like a 50-year-old, even though I'll be 50 in November, I still look like a 35-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And I act like a 10-year-old. So like to gauge my age is impossible. And so I there were some lines in there that were like only old people say, by God, and that kind of stuff. And I was like, all right. So I practiced a while because I wanted to deliver the lines right, and I just could not get the line out because it's and maybe it's I suck at acting, but I just couldn't get this by God line without a smirk. Just couldn't do it. So I just shut my mouth full of popcorn and then said the line. I didn't hear anything for a while, and I get sick. I get the flu. Bad. Pretty bad. Oh, I had one more audition. They sent me another audition, and then that was my third audition for it. Different role. I get sick. I got the flu. I haven't heard from my agent, Amy, in a while. I forgot about. Again, I'm auditioning for things like the Peanut Butter Falcon. All this stuff is coming in through her, and I'm dead. Like 3 days, I'm out. Phone's off. My phone died. I didn't even check it. I haven't checked it. I can barely like breathe. I'm finally up. I'm eating soup. I turn my phone on, and I'm just eating, and it just starts going off. And I mean, man, it went off. I missed like 30 calls. And it was my agent calling me, telling me that I landed a lead role, like a co-starring role.
Yeah.
But I was sick. She's been trying to get hold of me for 2 days.
Oh my God.
And so I finally called her. I was like, well, I'm sorry, I had the flu. I was dying. And she's like, you got the fucking role, man. And I was like, okay, what role? And she's like, they want you to be the scientist guy next to Dr. Owens. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, Paul Reiser's playing Dr. Owens. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, I grew up watching him on A&E Improv, on Friday nights, and Mad About You, and Beverly Hills Cop, and all this shit. Yeah. I was like, that's crazy, dude. So they said, all right, they're going to be calling you on. This was Tuesday. She said they're going to call you next Tuesday and schedule a fitting. Then I get Wednesday. The dude called. I get a call. Hey, Joe, this is Matt with wardrobe, or I can't remember his name. But the AD. It was the AD. He goes, can you get up here tomorrow for a wardrobe fitting? I was like, where's that? He's like, Atlanta. He's like, I was like, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. What time you need me? He's like, just come to set. I'll give you the address to set. So I was like, I'm just Joe. What the fuck are you talking about? Sorry. So anyways, I drive up to Atlanta. I go, I don't even go to the hotel. I go right to set where it's the pumpkin patch scene. Where all the pumpkins are dying and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And all these old 80s style cop cars and Harbors over there. And there's some, and the other officers and Rob Morgan. And I'm like, holy shit. I was like, nah, I'm going to fuck this up, man. And so I go in, they try some clothes on me. I'm very friendly and jovial and whatever. So I had a good time with them. And then the AD comes up and he's like, all right, that's it. You can go to the hotel and crash and whatever. And I was like, okay, great, man. So my first experience in this real world of filmmaking, even though we've been doing it for 30 years, it's different when you step on a set like that, man, because you're talking millions of dollars a minute. Maybe not a minute, but certainly thousands of dollars a minute for them. Mm-hmm. And I had never seen a craft service anything like that in my life. They had it was an 18-wheeler bed that they drop off that turns into a kitchen. You just walk in and get whatever you want, whatever. Drawers full of everything you could think of as ways, candy bars and snacks and cookies and chips, both sides, cabinets, free range coffee and tea, everything you could ever think of, and a dude standing there asking you what you want. What do you want? You want a sandwich? I'll make you a roast beef sandwich. What do you want? Wow. No, man, I just came in I'm just used to getting coffee and pizza. I was like, I won't even be able to act. I'll have to sit in the bathroom for an hour. There's so much food in there. I was like, so anyways, that was my first day. Well, no, that was my first wardrobe fitting. And then then they had me on set like a week later.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, because that was a pretty substantial role.
Yeah.
In that thing. So what was it like working with Paul Reiser? Any stories you got for us?
Dude, I had, yeah. Well, here's how I met him. My very first day is I get to Atlanta the night before. I'm staying at Peachtree Motel, which is beautiful. And they're shooting at Screen Gems in Atlanta. And so I pull in the security guard. I'm like, I'm Joe here at the thing. He's like, yeah, right over there. And I, just right in, you park. It's like, right around the corner and you can see the studio and stuff. So I get out, I go to wardrobe. They're like, oh, well, you got some time. We're running a little behind, so you can just chill out. The craft service trailer's over there. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I go over there, I get a cup of coffee. I run into Lucas. He's the first one I meet. And he's really cool. He's with like a whole armada of people. His whole family, his mom, his dad, cousins, I think, and brothers were there. The whole family was there. And I met all them, hung out, talked to his dad for a while. And then I went and got wardrobe, which was great. I had my own little trailer. It was awesome. Got dressed. I only had one scene. This is all I had. That was it. I come in, I bounce the ball, screw things up, say my lines. I got like 3 lines with Paul, this line, and then that was it. I'm done. That's all I got, right? So I come in, I go to get coffee again. Paul Reiser's in there getting coffee. And I was like, Dr. Owens. And he looks and he's like, oh, hey, what's up? He's like, you must be Joe. And I was like, yeah, how did you know that? He's like, I saw you on the call sheet. And then I asked who you were. I was like, all right, that makes sense. And we shared a coffee for a minute and talked outside, kind of around the trailers where nobody was there. And he and I were just kind of talking about the whole show and the phenomenon, because this was his first time as well.
Yeah.
He was brand new to the show. And he's like, yeah, my kids loved it. And they told me to do it. He's like, so if I don't, they're going to hate me. I was like, my kids hate me too. And so I'm kidding. My daughter's staring me down like a assassin. So I get in, I meet David Harbour immediately. I walk in, he's rolling a cigarette. And then inside, there's another craft area. Like a whole so you don't even have to go out to the trailer. You can stay right there on set all day and eat and drink as much as you want. They don't want you leaving, right?
Right.
And I was like, I'm just in my brain, I'm going, they got more money for craft service than I've had for any movie I've ever done. I was like, just by looking at the stuff that's there. I was like, this is a whole week's worth of food for us on a set. Is their one day setup of coffee? And so I meet Bob Glick, who's the DP. I didn't know that. He was just a dude. He's kind of like an older dude just sitting around the corner. I come up and slap him a high five because I'm just like, what's up, man? This is awesome. And I like start looking at the set and I'm talking to everybody and I meet the crew and Andrew Stanton, who is Academy Award winning director.
Yep.
I didn't know that's who he was. I basically almost picked that dude up and gave him a hug.
With Disney? Yep.
Yeah. So, and he's like, Joe. And I was like, and I'm walking around and Paul takes his seat. And then I said, no, I hadn't sat down yet. And the Duffer Brothers walk in.
Wow.
And I turn around and they're like, Joe. And I was like, and I just walked up and hugged them. And I was like, okay.
I would too.
Yeah. So that was my first day, and that was going to be my only day. And I did the scene, and the first bit was me in the chair bouncing the ball. And I go to wheel back in the chair, and the ground they had put down, which was like concrete, hadn't fully cured because they're moving pretty fast. Right. They're like building sets and shooting. You know what I mean? Like way more than you and I have done, because it was, there's a team of 100 people just standing around.
Right.
For whatever needs to be done. That light needs to move. 8 dudes are on that light. It's crazy. So I wheel back and I destroy the floor. The concrete, the weight of me and the chair just crushes it. And I turn around. I was like, oh my God. And they all kind of come look. I said, that's what happens when you get a fat guy on a new floor, man. We just kill shit. And they started laughing, and so that was good. And then they, we had a good time. I joked around, and then they were like, all right, thanks a lot, and I'm done. I only had like 3 lines. The next morning I get up, here's a weird thing. That evening, I'm downstairs at the Peachtree, just chilling, listening to my headphones, and Andrew Stanton walks by, and I'm like, blazed, dude. I'm just like by myself, and he's like, what's up, John? I was like, hi. I'm high. Hi. And he just like walks away. I'm like, that's cool. I'm fired. So the next morning I get up, I'm driving home. I call my agent. She's like, how'd it go? I said, man, I was the best time of my entire life. And she's like, well, they want you for 3 more episodes. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I just got off the phone with them. I was like, get the fuck out of here. She's like, no, they love you. And I was like, all right, they love me enough to kill me.
That's when you know they really love you.
You couldn't bring me back? Mm-hmm. My death was overshadowed by Bob's death. No one cares about Nerdy Tech.
Nerdy Tech has his own action figure, though, doesn't he?
No, that was made up by Kara Lee.
Oh.
I know. Everyone asked me for that. They're like, I can't find it. I know you got one. I saw it. I was like, that was custom made.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But still, you were a great part of that whole. I mean, you just fit so well. You played that character so well. I mean, I was so proud of you, man. I really was.
Thanks, man. I've been trying to get on top of that ever since. It's hard, because immediately after my agent quit being an agent, I got dropped. She started acting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it was like, congratulations. By the way, you're on your own. And then it took a year to find a new agent. And now I'm again kind of agentless. I have my wonderful agent in New Mexico, Tina Presley, Presley Talent. I audition constantly for her. I don't know how many times a week. I probably do. I haven't auditioned this week yet, but normally it's 3 or 4 times a week for her. And I'm talking like Dark Winds. I don't know how many times. The Ozark. What? Oh, Righteous Gemstones, like 3 times.
That's a great show,
dude. What? Oh, I told him about This Is Us. My wife knows way more than I do because I forget. Well, if I don't get the role, I forget because it's TV, and then I'm like, yeah. And she knows it because she does my auditioning. She's the counterpart. She'll read opposite, so she'll remember. She'll be watching the show and she'll call me, and be like, "You're on Righteous Gemstones." Well, not you, but you're that scene. I was like, oh, that's. She's like, it could be you. You suck. I wanted a virus. And then she hangs up.
But now you're making your own stuff too, and that that helps.
Man, we have to.
Mm-hmm.
You and I, man, it's a long road. I mean, again, like I think my first real feature, was with Craig in 2000 with Unearthed. I had been doing.
It was a Web of Darkness. That's how you met Savini. So your first feature was with me.
I guess it had to have been. That's a fact. That's a fact, dude. Yeah, It had to be. Nolan Collins, who not a lot of people probably don't know who he is, but I mean now, but back in the day, Nolan and I were pretty tight, and we had a company called Present Day Productions, and we did a couple short films, and we did a feature called Pain. And Nolan's like a really well-known comic book artist.
Oh yeah.
Some of his artwork is phenomenal, dude.
He did the Web of Darkness prequel comic for me.
Yeah, the comic book.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So I don't know where I was going with that, but but I started in like the entertainment industry in '95 because I had started on a series of a sketch show called The Sidewalk Cracks in Newport Richey, Florida. And we were every Friday night at 10 o'clock, or every Monday night, 10 o'clock on TCA Cable Channel 5, our sketch show played from 10 to 10:30. And we would write this during the week, shoot it on the weekends, and air it on Monday night for years. For like my first 5 years in the entertainment industry was doing this sketch show. And it got so big that we couldn't even go into Ybor without people noticing that we were the Sidewalk Cracks.
Wow.
Where it is now, I don't know who's got the footage. I don't know where. I haven't seen an episode since in 25 years. You know what I mean? Like I don't even talk to half those people anymore. None of those really.
Wow.
Yeah, none of them. So while doing that sketch show, I met an improv comic who was doing improv in Tampa and wanted to start an improv troupe. So I moved to Tampa and started an improv troupe called Beat the Dead Horse, which later became the Charming Hooligans, and then which is still going around today. And then I went from the Hooligans to Second City in Chicago, came back, and started a new troupe called the Caffeine Kids. Oh, which was from a guy from the Sidewalk Cracks, Brian Bauer. So I guess I had seen him. So he and we did this improv troupe. It was Jason Kranick, who I think is one of the most funniest persons on the planet. Victoria Trantham, who's now like a Broadway actress. Your friend, Patty
White.
Patty White. And then it was Ryan Bauer and myself. And we were doing improv every Wednesday at the Improv in Ybor. The Caffeine Kids were. And we were blowing up, man. We were selling out the Improv. And that's a 2-story place. It's not there now, but so that was like my first early years was doing improv. And then right after the Caffeine Kids broke up because we had a rule, no dating, nobody date, don't date. Ryan, Patty, don't date. What are you doing? You're dating. Oh, you broke up? Nobody wants to practice? Cool. So that's what happened. So the troupe broke up, and I was like, man, I'm just going to focus on filmmaking because I had already made a few with Nolan. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to make movies. So that's all I've been trying to do since we've known each other.
You got something really cool coming out. That you got a beautiful poster in the
Thank you, man. Thanks.
Why don't you tell us about this? How this come about? I also got some pictures we want to show before we run out of time. But give us a scoop on this.
Oh shit! I've been rambling, man. I'm sorry, bro.
I told you this is how this show goes, man. We just start talking and we lose track of time.
Okay, so Sorority the Dam. Basically, it's about a guy, Trevor Harmony, who is a marine biologist who wants to go to Alaska to study orcas, but he doesn't know the family's secret. So his grandfather, played by Richard Elfman, is dying of Alzheimer's, and there's a hospital scene where the grandfather's trying to tell him, "Look, we're not janitors, man. I'm not a janitor. You have to understand that there's more to this family than being janitors." And because Trevor doesn't know the history of the family, he doesn't know anything. His dad died. His mom is gone. He grew up with his grandfather, but he was never taught the secret. So now the grandfather's trying to explain to him, you got to go be a janitor at the sorority house. And he's like, I have a degree in biology. I'm not going to go clean toilets. You're out of your mind. But the grandfather says, do it, and he dies. So Trevor's like, I got to fucking do it, I guess. So he does. And then in the midst of this, uncovers a secret room that has an ancient book, and the book has spells. And Felicia's character's been trying to get this book, and her name's Angela. So Angela wants the book because there's spells in it that she can bring back the 4 witches, the eternal witches, which are earth, air, fire, water. And in doing so, she's got to take some of the girls and she's got to sacrifice one of them. And all hell breaks loose, and Trevor finds out that he's not a biologist or a janitor. He's much more than that, and has to fight a bunch of people at the end of the movie and make sure the world doesn't end. And he's got a statue friend who shows up and helps him kill the evil witches.
All right.
And, yeah, dude. There's a lot of comedy. There's a lot of effects. Marcel Banks did all the creature designs. They're phenomenal. Ken Hall, who wrote Puppet Master, he designed the statue. It's all his work. The statue, played by Jeremy Lester. Sarah French plays the Air Witch. Renee Daw plays the Water Witch. Katarina plays... What the hell's Katarina's last name? She's going to body slam me. She plays the Earth Witch. And then Anna Christensen plays the Fire Witch. And then we got our lead females, which is the Jenny, which is Cindy Carvel. We have Amber, which is Kalina Cordova. We have Morgan, which is played by Chelsea Jordan, and then we have Cersei, which is played by Jamie Brightbill, and those are our leads. Yeah.
Well, we got a bunch of pictures here to show, so why don't we
Yeah,
do
I'll
this?
talk you through it.
Yep, talk us through. Let us know what's going on, who's in the
Yeah.
pictures, what's happening. All right, let's see. Here's the first one.
Okay, so these are the girls after they become possessed, and starting from left to right, we got Sydney Carvel, then we got Jamie Brightbill, we got Kalina Cordova, and we got Chelsea Jordan.
Now, is this an actual still from the movie?
Yeah,
or
this is still from the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all stills I gave you. That's when I discover a secret room and I get blown across the room, go through a bunch of shelves.
Cool.
That's Felissa. She's in a dream sequence. Basically, she comes to me in a nightmare and takes my heart out and makes me eat it. You just saw that.
Yep, that's a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah. These are amazing actresses. On the left is Chelsea Jordan with the beautiful blue eyes. She plays Morgan. She's brilliant. On the right is Sydney Carvel. She plays Jenny. Amazing. She transforms in the movie so much. It's so great to watch her do her stuff.
Are most of these actors, are they local or are they from all over the place?
Most of them are in LA. We shot in LA.
Okay.
So they're all LA based. That's me. This guy's a big fat idiot. Doesn't know what he's doing half the time and probably high. Again, the girls, they're arriving to a cemetery. They have a minion behind them now. In the movie, they kind of kidnap this dude and make him a minion. Yeah, again, Jamie left, Jamie Brightbill, and then Kalina Cordova, Chelsea Jordan, and Sydney Carvel. That's Ken Hall, the writer of Puppet Master, and also the creator of the statue costume.
Wow, the writer of Puppet Master. Pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, he's a really cool dude, man. That's me again, and the statue who hasn't come to life yet. At this point, I'm starting to get my ass handed to me.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it gets way worse. That is Kalina Cordova. She's brilliant, great actress, talented artist. She does paintings and music and all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
So they're all talented like that. You have to be multifaceted,
right?
Or you're not going to make it. Sarah French. Some people might know her from a million other horror movies. Blind was one of her newest ones. She's fantastic, man. That's Air Witch. She's playing the Air Witch right there.
Very cool.
Again, Chelsea Jordan, who plays Morgan. Just looking badass. She's about to get in a fight. That's me. I have thorns in my face and a fire demon's about to eat me.
Nice. Having a bad day, I take it.
Yeah, it's just, typical day. That's
typical day.
Yeah, that's myself and Renee Daw, who's playing the Water Witch. She's just trying to drown me. That's fine. Everything's fine. That is Chelsea Jordan and Jeremy Lester as the statue, which again was created by Ken Hall. Yeah, Jeremy Lester as the statue. Badass dude. He's not only my best friend, but he's taught me how to box and how to take a punch and an insult. And but he's dope, man. He's badass as the statue, man. I can't. It's just great, dude.
Look at that hammer.
Yeah, he's warning me that the witches are coming.
All right.
Yeah. So, but again, like if you look at the background, man, this is all Mike Sue. Mike Sue is the director of photography. His lighting is amazing. It's not hard to make the movie look good when guys like him are behind the lighting. Yeah. That's the Earth Witch. Again, Marcel Banks did all this crafting and designing. Cool. Yeah, she's pretty badass. She messes me up pretty good. And then that's the Water Witch. Again, Marcel Banks. And then Renee Daw is the actress behind that. And Renee is beautiful. She's in a movie coming out that we just finished called Demon Queen Pinball Machine.
Demon Queen. I love that title.
Yeah, we shot that here about 6 months ago. Demon Queen Pinball Machine. That's Sarah French. She's the Air Witch. So great to have her. Again, the girls, they're just hiding, trying not to get killed. They'll have a lot of these expressions on their face throughout the whole movie, really. This is kind of how they look normally. Confused, scared. The scene that just happens pretty badass. I don't want to ruin it, but I have to pick up the hammer, and it's very much like a, Captain America picking up Thor's hammer moment. But this was before that, so that hadn't existed yet. Because this is like 2002.
Right.
I mean, 22, 2000.
I like the jack-o'-lantern stamp on the hammer there.
Yeah, that's fucking great, dude. I think that was Marcel who did that. I think he did all the artwork on the statue.
Very cool.
I think it may have been a joint effort. I remember there was like a painting party at the studio one day, and it was for all of the styrofoam that was going up as the cemetery and as statues and columns and that kind of stuff. Sarah French, again, as the Air Witch. This is really cool. Low shot of her being creepy.
Very cool. I mean, everything that I see there as far as the lighting goes, like you said, the costuming, the makeup, I mean, it's all on point. It looks really cool.
Yeah, man. It took us it was a labor of love, that's for sure. And I'm very proud of it, and I cannot wait for it to come out. I can't wait for people to see it. And right now we're just sitting at distro. We're at a few different places waiting on one of them to spring. And, I mean, who knows? Ideally theatrical is where you want to go, but is that a thing anymore? I know that Steamboat movies got theatrical, but what's the run? Like, is it 500 theaters? Is it like 50 theaters?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not quite sure how
every offer.
But Stream did that, and now Screenboat's doing that. Essentially, what they're doing is they're getting like a limited run, and depending on how many people come out for the events, whatever, what kind of draw they get, they extend the run. So
right, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what we're hoping for with this. Honestly, I'd love to put it in the drive-ins, but drive-ins are privately owned. That's the hardest nut to crack because I've been working on drive-ins for about 6 months, and they don't call you back. They'll want to see a screener and you never hear from them. That's already happened to me, like 3 of them. I got a few who haven't called me even back yet. And it's like, how do you crack that nut? Because there's no like drive-in theater regulatory department, it's like they're all privately owned. Every one of them.
There's not that many of them in existence, I don't think, anymore either.
330
total. Wow.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up. I grew up in the drive-ins over on that Skyway Drive. Remember that?
No, I grew up in Ocala. We had a different one, but I went to that one all the time. I saw Prom Night at the drive-in. I saw License to Drive at the drive-in.
I saw The Exorcist at the drive-in.
Yeah. I saw Deadly Friend. Remember that one?
Oh,
the girl
remember that?
Robot. Yeah, yep. She had like a robot hand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love that movie, man.
Yeah, those are amazing times back then.
Yeah.
All right, so where
what I feel like you're doing now is you're bringing. This is where horror will never die, no matter what distributors say, because they're always like, "Oh, nobody wants horror anymore." Shut up! You don't know what you're talking about.
You don't?
They don't know what they're talking about, and the horror industry alone is the only genre that the community will surround itself around. You don't see people out there surrounding action films.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's horror. So it's you. I feel like with your magazine coming in, it's like a new, fresh view of old school cinema horror. If that makes any sense.
I love that. I love the sound of that.
Yeah,
I'm an 80s guy, 80s movies. Growing up at that time.
That's what this is. This is a full homage. Roy and I wanted to make an homage to 80s. And that's what we did with this. That's why we do the Ray Harryhausen statue kind of thing. And that's kind of where I want to live, man. People ask me, like, why don't you want to do any other movies? Because I want to live in horror comedy. It's fun. It's fun to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if that's all I make, that's all I want to make.
So you've got it entered into a couple film festivals now and just waiting to hear back?
No, I only Sunscreen. By the way, it's at Sunscreen April 26th at 5:45.
Okay.
For those who want to see it. But no, I only entered into the Sunscreen Film Festival because, like I said, we're talking to a bunch of distributors. I don't want to release anything yet. Like, I can't release the trailer because they'll want to release it.
Right.
So, and a few, you know, so I don't want to step on any toes by doing something stupid and maybe doing the wrong thing and releasing something that might get me in trouble later or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
But if you decide you want to put it out or try and get into like Scaricon or something like that, let me know. We'd love to have it.
Well, I mean, we'll know before we'll know here soon because it's, like I said, it's at two very big distributors right now who are very interested. We're just waiting to hear back on their terms. So we've already turned a few down.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't play around. I got one offer, dude. It was 25 years. Okay. That'll put me at 75 years old. They wanted 60% off the top and then a 50-50 split after that with no guarantee of theatrical or VOD or DVD. None of those terms. I was like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Distribution is crazy right now.
I showed my lawyer. He was like, that's not even an offer. This is like, let us steal your movie for you. Yeah. I was like,
wow.
So those are the offers that are coming in. Several offers have come in like that. And it's like, what are these people thinking, man?
Yeah.
What are they thinking?
I don't know. Distribution is a very difficult situation right now. It's we've gotten lucky with the distributor that we've got. They've been really, really good to us so far. They answer the phone every time we call. Very open and upfront. Bayview Entertainment, very happy with what they've done so far with The Clock. And my other movie, Velocity Kings, we got with them as well. And just started coming out on streaming and just started coming out on Blu-ray as of Monday. So, we'll see how it goes.
I've been talking to a lot of people about, the last couple months have all been distribution talk. And, people are telling me all kinds of stuff like Patreon. Get on Patreon and put your movie up there and just I'm charging $2 to download it and watch it. And these people are making money. So I don't know what the answer is, man. I don't know. I was, we were 100% secure, and now it's like wild waters out there.
Well, it's a changing landscape, especially since COVID. Everything has changed, so much. And it's just kind of learning and growing as you go. And with the way things are going with the box office and everything else, all the other movies, it's a very uneven situation right now.
Yeah.
It is, but
yeah, man, I just want to make movies, man. I just want to make fun horror comedies and just have a good time.
That's all you can do, man. And if it's your passion and that's what you want to do, like me, then just keep doing it. Keep banging away. Eventually it's like throwing stuff against the wall. Eventually something will stick, and then who knows what will happen from there.
That's why my email is Spitball Frenzy.
Spitball Frenzy. There you go.
It's just a spitball frenzy, man. You don't know what's going to happen. Spitballing ideas all day, dude. I've written 40 screenplays.
Wow.
40, bro.
That's nuts. I had heard something a while back about you and how fast you write a screenplay.
Yeah.
I'm very envious of that because to me, that's the hardest thing. I can have the whole thing mapped out in my head, but getting it from my head to paper is such a difficult task.
Dude, if anything, I am a writer. If anything, if people are like, what do you do the most? Writing. I'm a writer. I write. I have 10 novels and I have 40 screenplays, man.
That's awesome.
And I write more. I have 2 I'm working on right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
We only got about a minute left, so why don't you give us the scoop of what do you have coming up and where can people find you?
All right, Sorority at some point. Demon Queen, Pinball Machine, starring myself, Alyssa Dowling, and Mike Ferguson, who's a big up-and-coming dude out in L.A., action guy, horror dude. You can find me anywhere at Joey Giggle Pants. That's all my handles, Instagram, Facebook, all that, Joey Giggle Pants. And then, whatever. Send me a message or emails, whatever.
Is that new one, the Pinball Machine? Is that being filmed here or is that going?
It's done. Yeah, it's done.
It's done.
We're editing. Yeah. We'll be done, probably fully done in about 2 weeks. And then we'll start pushing that somewhere.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Joe, so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Man.
We got a lot of
Thank
great
you.
information. I'm going to put you on backstage here just for a moment so I can close the show out.
Okay.
I'll come give you a proper goodbye, okay?
Thank you, sir. Had
You're
a blast.
welcome. All right. Boy, that time flies when you're having fun. Unbelievable. I've known Joe for so many years. I know we had so much to talk about, and I tried my best to cover everything. I think we did. Real excited about his movie Sorority of the Damned, and especially the new one getting ready to come out. So please follow up with him. Find him on Instagram. Find him on Facebook. He's got a lot of great stuff coming up. You definitely want to be a part of that. Thank you again for joining us this evening. Next week, we have a very special guest, Fred Olin Ray, who'll be joining us. We got all kinds of 80s horror and distribution and stuff to talk about with him. So make sure you tune in next Wednesday. So you guys take care. And once again, thank you for joining us.